start, there's a few of you here. So how many of you have got the box kit? And how many of you have just gone, this is really nice, well this is lovely, these papers are nice, the vellum's nice, the stamps look good, and not actually done anything with it? I mean, I know there are other things that keep coming out after the box kit, but what I really wanted to show you was use it. Don't buy it and put it in a cupboard, because that's no good to anybody, is it? So quite a few of you then. I mean, I know the design team have used it because, well, they had to, didn't they? But I know the design team are really, really keen on it, and so am I. But I am also guilty of probably not using it as much as I should. So I thought what I would do is, everything's cut out, everything's ready to just make cards. So we're not doing any die cutting, we're not doing any stamping or anything. All that's done, because I wanted to make as many cards as I could in the time that I've got, just to show you how fabulous this kit is. And of course, the one good thing is that now you can get each element on its own. Now let me tell you, 48 sheets of 200 GSM card. I mean, it's not paper. You can't call it designer paper. It's designer card. It is. I know you've seen this on the unboxing video that I did, but the quality of this paper card is incredible. It's absolutely incredible, and you're getting 48 sheets of that, and it's going to last you for ages. The one thing I would say is, yes, you can get it all individually on Lisa's website, but think about what you want and think about how you will use it. And if you only want certain elements, then great, go and get those certain elements, okay? But if you think, well, I'm going to get that and I'm going to get that, and then I'll go back in a few weeks and I'll get some more, please don't do that. Because if you buy it as a kit, because it's still available as a kit on the website as well, you're going to save just under 50 quid. Now that's a lot of money, especially today. When you look at the individual items, it's crazy to buy them as individuals. Just buy the box set, because you will use it. You might not use it all in one go, but you will use it, I promise you. There's patterned vellum, and again, the quality of the vellum is just outstanding. It really is. So you've got patterned vellum, you've got 24 sheets, 6 different designs, 200 GSM vellum. You've got coloured heavyweight vellum, again 200 GSM, 24 sheets, 6 colours. And then you've got your coloured sticker sheets. Now you can either stick these to card and then cut them out, or just cut them out on the sheets as they are and use them as stickers. Either way works. Sometimes we want to just put a sticker on a card, other times we want to lift it up a little bit, put it on 3D pads or 3D glue gel. So, you know, you'd need it on a piece of card then. So I've cut one sheet of every colour, and some I've put on card and some I've just left as stickers. In fact, I think most of the white ones are just stickers. But then I've also used the die to cut some plain banners as well, so that I've got like a drop shadow banner as well. But the other thing I would say is, when you've cut them out, don't throw these away, because they make excellent stencils, and you could also use them as a backer on your card. Natalia's used one like this as a backer on one of her cards, and it was fabulous. It might even have been a shaker card, I can't quite remember. But don't throw those away, because they do come in useful for so many different other things. Okay, so those are your stickers. Now I can't remember how many sentiments I said there were. 400 and something, I think. 480 something. I can't quite remember, but there's a lot. Because you've got 12 sheets in 6 colours. That's a lot of stickers, and they're going to last you for ages and ages and ages. So those are the bigger parts. Then of course you've got the die that goes with those stickers. so that goes with that. And then you've got your dies that go with your stamps, and obviously the dies cut out elements from your paper pack as well. So it's not just cutting out these stamps, it cuts out things on the paper pack as well. So those are good, a good value. Then you've got your stencils and your embossing folder for the button blooms. Such a sweet little set this is. It's absolutely gorgeous. And then you've got the other 3D embossing folder, Summer Shower. There's no stencils for this because you really don't need it. But this just gives you such a fabulous effect, especially on vellum. It looks amazing on vellum. So, you know, there's those. And then for those of you that have got hot foiling machines, we've got two hot foil plates which match those two embossing folders. So the one's the button blooms and the other one's the Summer Shower. And again, they give excellent quality foiled prints. Brilliant they are, absolutely brilliant. And then to complement all of that, I'm going to use the Weave 3D embossing folder. I'm using the nested scalloped and plain stitch squares, which have been reintroduced recently. The nested essential heart frame rectangle. The essential stitched rectangles, the A2 ones. The scripted edges. The edge cuts wallflower. The beautiful buds. Nested scalloped and plain circles. And the nested scalloped and stitched rectangles. Okay, I know I went through those really quickly, but they're just sort of, these are things that you're going to have in your stash already. A lot of you will anyway. So I don't want to dwell on those too much. I want to concentrate on the box kit. I'm also using one of Lisa's fabulous embossing powders, and this is the white, the Classic Shine, which just gives a fabulous embossed image. They're just beautiful. They also do it in gold, but I haven't used the gold on this occasion, but you can if you want. There's also super sparkle one, but they sort of, especially the white, it just comes through as a sparkle. So if you want it to really stand out, I'd go for the Classic Shine, the white. Okay, so let's get cracking. Right, okay, first card. This is a 6x6 for those that always ask. I've cut out the scallop square from that nested and scallop square set, and I've used the Weave embossing folder with a piece of the plain lemon coloured vellum out of the box kit. Okay, I've stuck it down, and that's going on the front of my card. And then I've done some stamped images of my flowers from the stamp set, the leaves and the flowers. So they're going on my card. Okay, so let's put this on the front. This is the basis of my card, and really what I want to try and show you is how different 6 cards can look, hopefully. And the other thing that I'd like to say is, you all asked for folders, albums in the group, so that you could go and look at the cards that the DT make without having to search through the group, which we did. And in those albums are all the DT makes for every product that goes to TV, and for every product that Lisa does a sale show for on her Friday Night Live. Okay, those albums are there for your inspiration. They're there for you to go and have a look through, and if you see something you like, go away and make it, or go away and make something that's based on one of the cards that you've seen. That's what they're there for. Please use them as inspiration. The only thing we ask is that if you use a project in one of those albums and you put it in the group, just say whose card you based it on, just so that that person knows. I mean, they'll know anyway because they know the cards they've made, but it's just nice to be able to say, you know, I saw this and I liked it, so this is my version. And this one, I think, this is based on one that I think Donna did, but in the background Donna used the Prism embossing folder, and I saw it and I thought, oh, I like that idea, but I want to use a different folder, so I've used the weave. So then we're just going to place these around the edge of our circle, and this is so simple, this card. It's absolutely dead simple. There is some dirty marks on my embossing, but that's off my plates because I didn't put a piece of paper over the top of my vellum when I cut it out. So we're just going to place these, and then I'm just going to glue them down. And please don't worry about gluing them down. I know sometimes it's difficult to use glue on vellum because it shows through, but I really don't think that's going to make any difference. I don't think you'll have a problem with it. I certainly haven't. And then just place these wherever you want to put them, and then glue them down. Okay, so let's get me glue. What I would say is, if you're going to put your glue on the back, try and put your glue where your embossing is. So on the leaves here, what I would do is put my glue along those embossed lines so that you can't really see it when you sort of look at the card. It doesn't matter if you go over slightly, it really isn't going to make a fat lot of difference, to be honest. So we'll put that down there, like so. Remember, this glue of Lisa's is absolutely fabulous. So this is from the plain vellums pack, just because I can, because the vellum takes embossing so beautifully. I thought, why not? So I've just used a Versamark pad, and then used Lisa's Classic Shine white embossing powder on the top, and they emboss beautifully, they really do. So pop that down there, and then we can add our flowers. And I'm only putting glue in the middle of these. I'm not going to put the glue around the edge of the petals because I don't really think you need it. I'll just pop these down here, and again just go follow that embossing round and you won't see the glue. Well, I don't think you will. So just pop that down there. And like I said, this is such a simple card, but it's going to look so effective when you've finished. I'm going to put these two little posies down before I put that last flower down, just so that I don't have to move that flower once I've glued it. So I'm going to put that one there, and it doesn't matter if you cover a bit up or not. Okay, so I put my flowers down there, and then I just put my last flower down, and then finally just add my last flower in the middle there. Now you could of course add these with 3D glue gel if you wanted, and then they'd stand a little bit more proud. And then I've just, this is one of the stickers that I left just as a sticker. If I can get the backing off, I will use it as just a sticker, I think. And I'm just going to place it slightly to the side of that circle. I don't want it completely in the circle. And of course I've got the lines from the weave to guide me, so I know it's going to be straight. And then finally I'm just going to add some pastel dewdrops. So I can just add these pastel dewdrops down, and just doing 2 or 3 odd numbers as I always do. I think I'll just leave it at 3 for now. You could add more if you wanted to, but I'll put that to one side. There's your first card. How easy was that? And how effective does it look? It's so pretty, and those vellum flowers just look so gorgeous, don't they? I like that. So that's card number 1. I've tried to use different colours as well, and there's only one lot of purple. I tried to stay away from purple. So this is card number 2. Now I'm just going to pop this down on as my backing. Again, this is from the paper pack. Okay, make sure I've got it the right way up, and pop that in the middle. Why have I put it in the middle? Why didn't you stop me? I have to fold it the other way now. Right, so then I've cut a piece of vellum and I've embossed it using that Summer Showers embossing folder. Now, can you see what I mean about you don't need layering stencils for this? The effect that you get on here is just incredible. This is pink embossing, pink vellum embossed through that embossing folder, and I've just ripped it so that I'm only using a small piece, okay, just because I like the effect. And then I'm going to pop it down here. I do like to see a torn edge, so I'm going to pop that down there. And again, I've just glued it. Okay, so that's my vellum down, and then I've cut one of the circles out of the nested and scalloped circles set, and I've put some 3D pads on the back just to raise it up a bit because I can, not for any particular reason. And I'm going to pop that down there like so. And then I've cut one of the flower sets out of the paper pack using the die from the dies pack, and I'm just going to pop that on there. And again, I've put 3D pads on the back, but you can see already how different this one is to the first one. Now you can have this whichever way around you want. I think I'm going to go like so. And then I've put 3D pads on the back of this. This is one that I've put onto card, and then I've got to decide where I want the sentiment. Do I want it down the bottom? Do I want it off the circle? I think I'll have it down the bottom, just on the edge of that vellum. Okay, card number 2. Equally as pretty, but totally different. So there's number 2. Again, 6x6 card. Now this is my purple one. This one's a little bit different in that I've used the foil plate on this one. Now I've cut my base with, oh, I've used something extra there that I didn't get out. I've cut my base with the heart rectangles, and I've put 3D pads on the back, and that's going there. And then I've used that fabulous purple foil that Lisa had, the Spellbinders one. I just love this, and this is the Button Blooms hot foil plate, and I've cut that with the A2 rectangles. No, I haven't. I've cut it with the rectangle that goes with the heart frame. Let's put this on the heart frame first, and then we can use the rest. Now I've also used the Urns, Jugs and Vases die set, which I didn't show you because I forgot I'd used it, to be honest. Okay, so that's going on the top there, and I've used black as my base frame because I just thought it offset the purple really nicely. It's striking, and that was what I wanted, so I've used black on the display that's going on the side as well. So let's pop that down there, and you'll notice it's a 6x6 card, and I'm not going in the centre of the card because I'm using the that beautiful fat vase off the Urns, Jugs and Vase set. Just throw my flowers all over the floor, and I've just put 3 3D pads on this one side because this is going to sit on here. So half of it I'm just going to add glue to, and the other half's got 3D pads on so that it sits level. Okay, so I'll just take my backing off that last pad there. I thought 2 might be enough, but it wasn't quite enough, so I had to go back and add a 3rd. And then I'm just going to add glue down this one side, because it won't need it in the middle because it's not going to touch anything. So then that's going there like so. Okay, so that's then level, and then I'm using those fabulous slimline blooms that Lisa brought out with the stencils and the embossing folder, and I just love these. I think they're amazing. And I've also used the large foliage set as well, again, which I didn't show you, but I've cut it in black, and I've just added some white veins with my white gel pen. All right, so I'm going to pop this down first, and I'm putting this to one side, so it's not going to go in the vase, but I want it to sit inside the card, but I want it to sort of hang over so that it's a backing for these flowers. So I'm going to put glue on these three, and I'm going to put 3D glue gel on the other three because they're a little bit I want to give them some height. That's what I'm trying to say. So I just add a little bit of 3D glue gel on those, and I have shaped them. I've just put them on a foam pad and just added a little bit of shape to them so that they've got a little bit of interest and not just flat leaves. Okay. So I'll just pop these down here like so. And just make sure that it sits just inside your card, because obviously when you put it in your envelope you don't want it hanging outside your card. Okay, so that'll sit there. So that gives those leaves a little bit height to match all the height on here. And then you just got to decide where you want your flowers. That is personal taste. You'll decide where you want your flowers, what sort of order you want them in, how many you want. Totally up to you. I did sort of arrange them when I was planning, but it can all change. Right, let's start at the back, and we'll go 3D glue gel on them because you'll need them to have some height. Let's get rid of that bit of glue, and then pop my 3D glue gel on the back of these flowers, and then just decide where I'm going to put them. So we'll go up the top with that one. Doesn't matter if you hide some of your leaves, they're there in the background, you know they're there. And then just arrange your flowers how you want, really. And then all you need is your sentiment. I'm not going to use those. Now you can see here that I've cut some just black banners, like I said, just so that you can just do something a little bit differently. I wanted to put that there. I'll put that one down the bottom. And I'm not going to 3D that, I'm just going to glue that flat, I think. So I've put my glue on here. But again, totally different card, but using that fabulous box kit. So, you know, you can see already the versatility of the kit. And then I would put the sentiment straight and have your other little banner at an angle. Okay, so card number 3. I'll put that there. So on to number 4. Now number 4. Okay, so number 4 is a 5x7, and this one I took inspiration from Val, because I just loved her card. Now Val used daisies on the front of her card, and I didn't want to use the same flowers. I wanted to use something different, so I've used the Edge Cuts wildflower spray, and I've just cut it in white, and I've just inked the back piece, so that, you know, the solid piece that you cut out, and then you've got the top piece with all the detail on, and I've just inked the back piece. Okay, but I've cut a piece of the patterned card, and I've used the nested and stitched rectangles for this, and then I've cut a piece of vellum, and then I've just torn it down the edge, and I've wrapped it round and secured it at the back. If you want to tear your vellum, the way I do it is I just use a paintbrush and draw a wet line with a paintbrush and some water down where I want to tear it, and that makes it just that little bit easier to tear without you sort of struggling. Okay, so this is going down on the front of my card. So make sure I use the right side. So that's just going down there like so, okay? And I am going to 3D it. I wasn't going to, but I think it needs it. So I'm just going to add some pads quickly. And these are the fabulous pads from Lisa. I'm not sure how far down this box I am, but I've got 2 boxes because I was determined I wasn't going to run out again. And I'll just put one in the middle. I'll take my backing off and then add this down to my card, and then all I've got to do is add my flower and my sentiment to the front of the card. So you see, you don't need to spend hours and hours and hours cutting and deciding what to do, where to put things. Just have a play, start off simple. You can always build on stuff, you know, you can always make it look a little bit different if you want to. So I've 3D'd the background, so I'm not going to 3D these flowers. I'm just going to glue these down flat on this occasion. A bit too much glue there, but take a bit of that off. And then just glue that down to the front of that vellum, like so. And I love the simplicity of this card. I mean, none of them are complicated, are they? Let's be honest. So there's my flowers, and then I'm just going to add a sentiment, and I'm using the same colour sentiment set as my backing card so that it all ties in. And you'll see I've put like a little drop shadow on there, so I've just used one of those black banners that I've cut just as a little drop shadow on this occasion, just so it looks a little bit different really. And I'm just going to pop that down on the bottom there. I suppose you could go and add some dewdrops to that as well if you wanted down here, just for a little bit of something a bit different. In fact, let's do that because I've got them here. Make sure I use the right colour, just to lift it a little bit. Okay, so card number 4. Right, so number 5's a little bit different. I'll just put those out of the way there. And we've got a bit more room. So this is number 5. Now you'll see I've made this into an easel card, okay? Again, just for something really different. But honestly, don't be frightened by easel cards. They're so easy. Just fold the top flap in half to make it easel. It's so easy, it's crazy. So I've cut a piece of cardstock that matches in with what I've used on the rest of my card, all right? And I'm just going to glue this down as my inside where I'm going to add my stepper so that it stops that easel from flipping forward. Okay, so add my piece of card down inside like so. And then what I've done here, I've used the Summer Blooms embossing folder, and I've inked the deboss side of the folder, and I've used sugar candy here. I've run it through the machine a couple of times to give me the pink in the background, and then to get the green in the top on all those flowers, I've just lightly swiped the Margarita ink pad across the top. Okay, and I've done it twice, and I've cut 2 different size panels. All right, so this panel is going on here. Now I don't want glue across all of that panel, so I've drawn myself a line as to where I need to go up to for my glue so that I don't go over the edge. So if I add this down here, and then I can add it to the front of my card. And I'm not worried about the glue going over the back because I haven't put glue over the back. And just make sure it's even both sides. Okay. And then this piece is my stopper, and again I've done exactly the same. So then I'm going to pop this down here, round about a third of the way up the card, and I've used the green so that you can see that it all sort of fits in, it all ties together. Okay, so that will sit there, and the only reason it's not sitting properly is because I haven't scored it properly. So I will go back and just score those lines properly, and then it will set properly. Okay, so that's the front of my card. Now I wanted something along here. I didn't want to leave this plain, but I wanted my sentiment on the top piece. So I've gone and I've inked some white texture card, some Elisa's white texture card, just using sugar candy and margarita so that all the colours always tie in. And I've just done it randomly, so where this looks pink and orange, it's where the green and the pink have blended. Okay, so that's just how the colours work. I didn't want them to be solid colours, I wanted them to be a little bit different. All right, and then I've just done some leaves on the green cardstock, and I've used that white embossing powder on those, just to make them stand out a little bit so that they look a little bit different. And then my leaves will go on here. Now you can either have the leaves sitting proud so that they actually form more of a stopper than just the bar, or you can have them a little bit further down so that the actual bar that you've put across forms your stopper. It's totally up to you, but all I would say is if you're going to use the leaves as the stopper, make sure that you've glued them down properly. All right, so let's glue the leaves down, and I'm going to put the leaves so that they're not the stopper. I want the bar that I've put across the middle to be the stopper. So I'm going to place these so that they sit just along the edge, like so. The middle one will, it doesn't matter which way the middle one goes. I've used one of the stamps. There are two in the set and they go in opposite directions, but I've used just one of them so that they're all the same size, because the other one is a little bit smaller. I'll just pop that one there, make sure that's glued down, and it isn't quite over the edge of that little bar that I've put across there, and then put my last one down across there like so, and then I can just add my flowers. Now again, you can either add your flowers flat or you can add them 3D. I've put a little pad on the back so they are slightly 3D, not too high, just enough to make them stand out a little bit. You might notice that the one in the middle is a slightly different colour. That's because I made a boo-boo on the embossing, so I had to do another one. But you know, they're all similar. Okay, so I've just got my sentiment to put on there now, and I've used the scripted edges, and I've cut it twice. I've cut it in that green texture cardstock, and I've also cut it in a really deep pink texture cardstock so that it stands out. I didn't want to use a black drop shadow. All right, I wanted to use something that tied in with the rest of the card, so that's why I went for the pink, just so that it all ties in together and nothing stands out and sort of really spoils the look, I suppose. So just add my glue down here, and then I can add this to the front of my card. I'm going to keep that sort of in the middle, like so. And then I was going to go for birthday wishes, and I thought, no, I won't. I'll go for birthday hugs, just to be a little bit different. and then just have to make sure that I send it to somebody I like. Okay, I've just add my glue down there, and then I can put my hugs down here, so that all ties in together. Okay, card number 5. I really like that one. I think that one's my favourite, although I should say the purple one, but I really like that one. So that's that one. And then finally, card number 6. Now this was based on, again, one of Donna's. I mean, I could have gone on forever just using cards from that album as inspiration, because there are some absolutely stunning cards, but I had to stop somewhere. So I've used a piece of vellum, and I've just cut that so that it's going to sit in the middle of this card. Okay, and I'm just going to add my glue, because you won't see this anyway, because it's going to be covered with a piece of card. So I'm just going to add my glue there. You won't see any of this, so I can be a little bit generous with my glue, and it doesn't matter if you can see it through the vellum, which I don't actually think you can. And make sure you've got that in the middle. Okay, so you've got the same width either side. I think I'm more or less there. And then I've just cut a piece of white cardstock, and then a piece of the patterned card from the paper pack. Okay, and then that's going on the front of there like that. So I'm going to add this down to my white linen card. Probably a bit of a waste of linen card, but never mind. It's only card. And I can get some more. Okay, so I'll pop that down there like so. Now I think on the one that I saw that Donna had done, Donna's used the large stitched alphabet, and she's cut out the word love and added that to her card, and then added the word you, and I think that's from the Hello Love set, might be, can't remember now. And she's put the words right down the middle of the card. So again, because I'm using somebody else's card for inspiration, I wanted to make it look a little bit different. So I've added that down. Now, because I wanted it to be different to Donna's, I've used the Beautiful Buds, and I've used pastel colours because I just think it fitted this particular card. So I've done 2 cream on pink and 1 pink on cream, purely and simply because I didn't have 3 to look exactly the same. So the odd one is going to go in the middle, and the other 2 will go on the side like that. Okay, so if I put my stem down first, I use my little little bottle and put this down on my card like so. I can put that down there. I just think this green particularly matches the green in here. I think, I can't remember whether this was one of Lisa's or not. I can't remember what the green was in her pack. I think it was a bit darker than this, so this again might be American craft, but it is what it is. And then I'm just going to place my flowers down here. Now when I glued these together, I didn't glue them all the way so that I could lift the petal at the front and just give it a little bit of shape. Okay, so I've only glued so far up just to give those petals a little bit of shape before I've stuck them down. Now I am going to 3D these, so 3D glue gel for these, just because I think they look really pretty sitting up above the card. So put that there, that there. You could use pads for this, you don't have to use 3D glue gel. The pads work equally as well. So that one's going there. That one's going in the middle. And then that one's going at the bottom. Okay. And I just think making them 3D just lifts them off the card that little bit and just makes them stand out a bit more. So then I've got 2 sentiments, happy birthday wishes, and again I've cut these out of the green because it just tied in with the rest of my card, and sweet friend across the bottom, which I'm going to put across the bottom of the stem. Now I've added these to card because again I wanted to 3D these. Now, I could have used pads, but I didn't think about it at the time, so I'm just going to use a little bit of 3D glue gel to add these down, purely and simply because I can. And I just think there are so many beautiful sentiments in these sticker sentiments. You will use them and use them and use them, and well, 400 and whatever it was, 482, it might even be more than that. I honestly can't remember. I did write it down at one point, but I can't remember now what it was. I know it's a lot, an awful lot. So then that one's going up there, like so, to offset this one that's hanging off the other end. Okay, so there you go. So just move all my bits and then see if I can get all the cards in shot for you. But I think you'll agree that there are quite different cards there, all from the box kit. Okay, I've added elements to it, but basically box kit, and what can I say, they're just fabulous, and I think you'll have so much fun. This kit screams simplicity. You know, it's so easy to put cards together. Okay, I've prepped these and I've cut all my bits and I've done all my inking and everything else, but even if you're doing that from scratch, you can so easily put cards together really quickly, and really beautiful cards, really effective cards that people are going to love to receive. So, you know, give it a go, have fun, let your imagination run wild. And that one's still my favourite. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it's given you some ideas, and as I say, please go and look at the albums, please use them as inspiration. That's what they're there for, you know. We want to help you enjoy your products as much as we enjoy them as a design team. So, you know, there you go. So I love you and leave you there. Have a fabulous week, everybody, and thanks for joining me. See you soon. Bye.